Hey guys, it's Lance at Mac Sound Solutions, and today I want to talk about how all the big tech YouTubers have let you down. That's right, they let you down. They let me down, they let you down. Linus, he let us down. This guy, he's happy-go-lucky. He does good reviews, but at the same time, he let us down. Justine, she let us down. This guy. Lionel Richie, or Rene Ritchie, sorry, he let us down. This guy, Miles, this guy, 9to5Macer, they all let us down. And what I'm talking about is the Files app in iOS 14 and the iPad Pro. Now I have several videos on this already, but I'm just going to give you an example. And these guys, you know, they have a responsibility to their audience. They're doing reviews of tech items. Now, Linus, you know, he's top tier. I would have expected him to get this right, but he didn't even do it, which I just find shocking.
The Pro models have a powerful processor that can outperform many real laptops. The debate about whether an iPad can replace your laptop is over. This time around, iPadOS 14 has some cool new pencil features like Scribble. I've learned to love using the iPad as a laptop, almost as much as I love LTTstore.com. If you're going to use an iPad as your main machine, be aware that iPadOS is still very much a work in progress. It is a laptop, but only for a specific type of person. iPads officially are laptops now, and not just iPad Pros. Maybe next year, we might actually recommend that you get one.
So an example is you're a photographer, you go out in the field, you got your trusty iPad Pro, and you got your trusty Nikon camera. You take 500 raw images. Now you want to edit those on your iPad Pro. Your client's there with you. He wants to check them out. You put them on your iPad Pro. It takes a little while, longer than it would with a MacBook Pro, but they get there. You go in, you tweak a couple of images. Now you want to put all 500 back onto a new SD card so the client can take them home and you have your backup on your original SD card and on your iPad. So the client's sitting there and he's waiting and he's waiting and he's getting more angry and he's like, what's taking so long? And he's waiting. If you did this with your MacBook Pro, it would happen very quickly. The iPad Pro does not play nice with exFAT formatted media. When the client gets back to the office with that SD card, he's going to find out there's a bunch of corrupt images on there. I have done this several times. I've tested it over and over, and the same thing keeps happening. So you can't trust it to transfer your images off your iPad to an SD card formatted in exFAT. That's just one of the several issues that the Files app has. Another one is, say you want to upload all those 500 images to your Dropbox, so up to the cloud instead of handing off an SD card because you found out that doesn't work. Well, it looks like, boom, that happens in 2 seconds. You're like, oh, great, that was fast. But then you look in the Dropbox folder and there's only 11 images. The 500 didn't go there. And again, we got a corrupt image out of the few that did make it up to the Dropbox. So another example is you want to transfer files between media using your iPad Pro. So I connected my hub and I put in the SD card and I connected the hard drive, and now I'm transferring a 1 gig movie file from the SD card to the hard drive. Well, it took forever. It took 8 minutes to do this. So I sped the video way up here, but you get the picture. It took 8 minutes to transfer 1 gig from the SD card to the Extreme Pro via the Initech hub connected to the iPad Pro. Now I did the same exact thing with my MacBook Pro 2012, put in the SD card, connected the SSD to the USB 3 port, and it took 10 seconds to transfer the same file. So yes, the Initech hub could have something to do with this picture, of course. So I connected the Initech hub to my MacBook Pro and then did the transfer the same way I did it with the iPad, and it took 1 minute. So yeah, the Initech hub has some kind of effect there, obviously. But I'm also having to use an adapter because the Initech hub is USB-C and my MacBook Pro only has USB 3 ports, so I blame it on the adapter. But again, it only took 1 minute compared to the 8 minutes it took with the iPad Pro. Okay, another example is you've got a folder with images in it on your iPad. Now you have to move that into an apps file sharing folder, because if you just leave it in a folder on your iPad, it's not going to show up when you plug it into your Mac. So I've moved the folder into my Goodreader folder, which is an app that has a file sharing folder. And then you go click on the little arrow next to it, and there you can see the folder. But you can't open that folder. You can't see what's in there. All you can do is drag it to the desktop or a hard drive. But the point is, it's very limited. And the iPad doesn't show you any information of how long it's going to take to copy. The only way to do that is to open up the folder that you're copying and have the Finder set up so you can see how many files you're copying, how many gigs it's using up. It is the safest way to get stuff off your iPad, but it's still really lame. You should be able to connect it to your laptop, be able to access any of the files, and just get them off there. But it's so not there yet, and it may never get there because Apple really doesn't want you to give up your Mac, give up your MacBook Pro for an iPad. They want you to have your phone, your iPad, and your Mac. Maybe another Mac, maybe 3 Macs. I'm just trying to tell it like it is. The Files app still is a stinker. It needs a lot of work. Apple did not address it in iOS 14, iPad OS 14. I guess it's going to be iOS 15. Maybe Big Sur will be better at getting files off the iPad. I doubt it, but I'm hoping. There's so many reviews about the iPad. They seem way more promotional than going into the negative aspects. Now, I love my iPad Pro. I've had it for quite a while. But is it a pro device? Is it a laptop replacement? No.
iPads officially are laptops.
Say you only have an iPad Pro and you got a new hard drive and you want to format it from exFAT to APFS. You can't format a hard drive with an iPad Pro. You have to have a computer. That one function alone keeps the iPad Pro from being a laptop replacement. Another issue is when you delete files from the Files app that were, say, on your hard drive that was connected to the iPad, they don't seem to delete. They get moved to recently deleted, and then you delete them, and they still show up. Even though your hard drive's not attached anymore, even though you already tried to delete them here in recently deleted when the hard drive was attached, they're still in there. Are they taking up space in your iPad? I have no idea, but it's a real pain. Storage on the iPad is still so difficult to manage. You've got photos, you got videos, you got documents, all these things, they all need to get stored in different places, and it's a mess, really. And when you want to back up your entire iPad, if you have a 1 terabyte iPad Pro and you got a 500 gig system drive, guess what? You can't even back it up. It's going to say you don't have enough storage. Your only solution will be to upgrade to Apple's 2 terabyte plan, which is $10 a month, $120 a year. Or you can do what I did, which is to create an alias that tricks the iPad into thinking it's backing up to the system drive, but it's actually backing up to an external drive. Now, Apple should allow you to do this right off the bat, but they don't want to because they want you buying that extra iCloud storage. And honestly, I don't want to back up all my information in the cloud. Even if you have a terabyte system drive, how are you going to back up your 1 terabyte iPad, your 250 gig iPhone, and all the stuff that's normally on your computer? You can't. And the fact that every time you back up your iPhone or your iPad, it creates a new folder with the storage of that backup. So you have multiple backups eating up space on your drive that Apple hides in your system. So backing up to an external drive is really a must. And I will make a video on how to do that very soon. Anyway, leave your thoughts in the comments. Leave your frustration in the comments. Reach out to those big tech YouTubers and tell them, hey, why aren't you telling us about the issues with the Files app? All right, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel if you're so inclined. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're healthy. And give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and I will see you on the next Mac Sound Solutions video.